Hi, there we go. Got our recording going. It's June 18th, and we're off to the races. I've been playing around with more and more different AI scenarios, and it just keeps getting better. That's awesome stuff. So, anybody got anything you want me to start off with, or nothing pressing? All right. So, I want to talk a little bit about the different AI programs that we've got. A lot of people are getting confused, like what what the different AI programs are. So we have Acquisition Air, which that was one of our first lead gen programs, and it's really good for certain things. It's not that great for what I had anticipated it to be in the original rollout. If you're not like really good at cold email marketing, then the search leads, they're almost worthless to you at that point. The only people that we've had that have had serious success with that is ones that were really, really good at cold email marketing. And outside of that, everyone else has tried it, has not had that kind of success. Now, on the other hand, it generates two types of leads. The other type of lead that it generates is called site leads. And it's kind of like putting a pixel on your site, like a Facebook pixel or a retargeting pixel. And what that does with the site leads, that will tell you who's been on your website. So if you're doing any kind of social media campaigns, or you're driving traffic, or you're just getting traffic organically, anybody that comes onto your site, this is something that a lot of people are not good at. They're not good at collecting leads from their website visitors. And to do that, it's really simple. It's not that difficult, but nobody does it. All you literally have to do is put some sort of a freebie, an opt-in, something of high value that your visitors will opt in to receive. That's really it. That's all you have to do. But to do that, you have to have some kind of an opt-in program. You have to have a database. So it's not like it's difficult, but you have to have those tools in place to do that job. And that's where I absolutely love Kartra. I know there's a lot of people that love Go High Level. It's fine. It doesn't matter what you use. I always recommend, like, people will ask me, what is the right tool? Some people have Aweber. Some people have Constant Contact. Whatever you're comfortable with is the one that I would recommend. Like, the one that you know how to use is going to be far superior to anything I'm going to recommend to you that is new and you don't know how to do it. So if you've got something that works, take the path of least resistance. Just use that. Now, looking at long term, if you're trying to map out a long term strategy, and okay, well, I don't just want to take in leads. I want to have a shopping cart. I want to actually take money. I want to sell things. That's another thing that you need. You would need a shopping cart with a gateway. So now you've got two pieces of software that you're going to duct tape together. Now, you might decide, well, hey, I want to do membership software. I want to have members and I want to do a recurring revenue thing. Okay, now you need another piece of software. And let's say you want to do calendar scheduling. Now you're going to need another piece of software. So what I'm saying is, to get something going, use whatever is at your disposal. But what you guys should be thinking about is mapping out your real business, not just like what is today. Because I know most people, they're just thinking, what is today? I need to make money. How do I make money today? And if you don't have a list, if you don't have a way to communicate, your odds of making money are pretty slim unless you're going to talk to people. And I know how you guys feel about that. If you're anything like me, the last thing you want to do is pick up the phone and start calling people asking for money. That to me, I have talked to some people that I consider absolute freaks. They love that. That's not me. They look at me and they go, "You're a freak. You're afraid to talk to people." It's like, no, I'm not afraid of it. I got better shit to do. I would rather automate the income and then go do what I want to do. Just a different mindset. But think about, that long-term strategy of what you ultimately want. What does your business really look like? And just understand you can't snap your fingers and get it. Everybody looks at like my business and they think, "Oh, well, he did that in a day." No, this is 40 years. I have 40 years of business under my belt to operate at what I do. I've got things that I've done 20 years ago that are still paying me. I've got things 10 years ago that are still paying me. I've got things that started yesterday that are going to pay me for the next 10 years. So you have to kind of map it out and you got to get started. There's a lot of people still that just haven't really started that. And I think one of the biggest reasons is shiny object. And I know as much as I do that's really good, I still have that too. I have the same disease. I constantly see stuff and go, "Oh my God, that is awesome. I should do that." So I'll buy it. And then guess what? I don't do it. The same thing. And at some point, you got so much shit on your desktop that it's just like it paralyzes you. And that's a really bad place to be in business. You don't want to be paralyzed in business.
I resemble that remark.
You're not the only one, JD. I'm right there next to you. I'm in the same bucket. But it's something that you gotta pick something. You gotta look at this. And I was just talking to Gina about this yesterday. And I told her this was the homework that I gave her. I said, map out all of your opportunities and then pick the one that is and I said this, the biggest opportunity. That doesn't mean it's the most money. The biggest opportunity could be something that you could do easily and quickly and start generating revenue. That might be your biggest opportunity. You might have 10, 20, 30 different things you could do. And as long as you've got all of those things and you're not focused on the biggest opportunity, the one thing you could do now to make it happen, you're not going to do anything. And it just stays overwhelming. And I get it. I do this all the time. I've got notepads as you guys all think I'm really technologically advanced, right? Well, I'm not. I'm probably no more than you guys. I've got notepads sitting around my desk, and I will grab a pad and a pen at a whim instead of going to the computer. I'll grab a pad and pen and start writing stuff down. And a lot of times I'm doing checklists. And then when I get it up there, I look at it, I'm like, and then it's apparent which one I should do. And I circle that one and put a star on it. And my whole goal for that day is to mark that thing off my list. So I attack it because I want it off that list. And then once I get it off the list, then I look at the list again. I said, okay, what's my next biggest opportunity that I could do today? And if you guys don't have a way to generate leads, that might be your biggest opportunity to knock that off your list. Because here's the thing, you might not need the money today. You might be okay, you might have other income, whatever. But there's going to come a day at some point in your future, I guarantee you, there's going to come a day when you're going to be sitting there and you're going to wake up or something's going to happen or whatever, and you're going to have a need for more money than you've got in your account. And it's really cool when that happens if you have a way to get the money without borrowing it or or begging for it or putting it on a credit card knowing you got to pay for it someday. It's really cool to have that list there. And when you have a list, you have a bunch of consumers. Those are people that buy things. And all you have to do, if you have a list of consumers, all you have to do is find something that you think they'd like and bring it to them. Get this, you don't have to create anything. You don't have to build anything for sale. You could literally be an affiliate. You could grab something that you know the people on your list would use, would benefit from, and you just bring it to them as an affiliate offer. And all of a sudden now you got the money for whatever that thing is that you needed. But if you don't have the list, that's not a reality. So I don't care where you are or what you're doing, the need for you to develop a list is today, not tomorrow, not when you need the money. It's today. So when that day comes and you need that money, you got it. It's there. I know I've told this story a lot of times. It was a cool story. It's not my story. I just heard it. It was from the Beatles. And the Beatles were at one point broke and I forget where they were. I think they were in Palm Springs and it was hotter than shit. And they were living there at the time and they were broke and they got the idea that they wanted a pool. They didn't have any money. And one of them, I don't know which one it was. I think it was Paul McCartney said, "Let's write a song. That'll be our pool. That's our pool money." So they wrote a song. They created something and got the money from it. But it took them a while. If they would have had the database, they could have just brought that right to it. Well, I guess they did. They actually did. They had a database of listeners. So they wrote the song and boom, the money flowed. But it was because they had the followers. That's their list. So the bigger your list, the more tuned in your list is, the easier it is to make money from it. And it's not even, you don't even have to do it yourself. Like I said, you could do it as an affiliate. I guarantee you, there is somebody that has something already made that could use more sales for it, and the people on your list would benefit from it. That's like instant cash flow. So don't get caught up in, oh my God, I have to develop and build this big business before I can make any money. That is so not true. There's opportunities for every one of you to make money right now because you know people. Even if you tell me you don't have a list, I'm going to call bullshit on you. You have a cell phone. I guarantee you have a contact list. You have a list. I don't know, it might be very segmented. You might have a lot of different types of people on there. I don't recommend that you just spam everyone on your phone list with every offer you can think of. Be mindful of it. Send only what would be appropriate to the right people. And this is going to be across the board in anything you do. Because if you do that, if you send the right offer to the right person and they get value from it, guess what's going to happen when you send them another email or you reach out to them, you send them a text, however you communicate. They're going to go, wow, I had a good experience last time he sent me something. I'm going to look at this. That's how it works. If you send them just a bunch of crap, then when they see something come down the line from you, they're going to ignore it. Think about it. You probably have people in your life that send you a bunch of crap that you're not interested in. And every time you get a notification that they sent you something, you just cringe. Right? I've got some distant relatives and family members that every time I get a text from, it's like, oh my God, what MLM are they into now? you know, they've never sent me anything of value ever because they don't care about what I need. All they care about is what they've got, and they think it's an opportunity for everybody on the planet. That is the kiss of death. If you want to alienate people, that's a really good roadmap. Just do that. That's a great way to destroy your list. So be careful, what you recommend. Recommend the right stuff. Kevin, go ahead.
Hey, John.
You
Good to
find
see you.
you find that pesky unmute button, huh?
Yes, yes. Took me a couple seconds there. Um, I've been your last couple of calls. I haven't been on the full call, so I missed some stuff. But
Okay.
I wanted to ask you. Oh, and by the way, I did. Uh, you were soliciting feedback for your
Oh yeah, yeah.
folks to
I
post.
saw that. I saw that come through. Thank you.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Um, But on Sorcerer Air, uh, question, um, very excited about it. What, as far as training, I haven't delved into it. Is there training inside Sorcerer Air, or are you going to be doing some training on top of that?
I will probably be doing like some use case training, and that's really kind of what I was hoping the initial people would get in and kind of play with it
Yeah.
and make
Okay.
some case studies. As far as actual training, there's not really much training necessary for it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Sorcerer is it's like the ultimate creative tool. It's really, really solid at creating just about anything you want as far as graphics,
Yeah.
videos, uh, images, all that stuff. It's absolute dynamite for that, especially longer videos. If you
Sure.
want to create like cinematic stuff, and it does use credits, so cinematic video chews up some credits, so be prepared for that. But my God, if you went out to a company and you hired a company to do a 30-minute cinematic video, you're
Yeah.
talking like 20 grand.
Sure.
And you're going to spend 6 months to get it done.
Gotcha.
So when you look at it for, is it really expensive? No, it's really cheap. But for somebody that is not used to spending credits and not used to, like, I'll give you a perfect example. I've been using the Agentic AI, and we're trying to get Agentic into Sorcerer, and it's kind of flopped on its ear on that. We may
Yeah.
do it through a different thing. I'm going to talk to you guys probably next week about, but maybe I'll talk about it today. I don't know, but it's like an advancement that just blew me away. But I've been using the Agentic, just patching it together to build my own website.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been saying, "Oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to rebuild my website and take it out of WordPress." Well, I don't know necessarily. In fact, I wouldn't really recommend that yet because you look at my website, yeah, it's awesome. It is world class at this point. There's still a few little things I'm dialing it in. I hope to be complete with it today. I have a list for it to do, and uh, and when it's done, it will be a world class site. It'll be a site that I probably would have paid a team somewhere in the neighborhood of $20,000 to $30,000 to build that site. It's not a normal site. It's got so much stuff going on, and the look and feel of it is just it's awesome. It's something that you would go to an agency and that is what they would give you. And it'd be $20,000 to $30,000. It's not like going to a WordPress developer and say, "Hey, can you build me a website?" Sure, $1,000, no problem.
Yeah.
It's not like that. But the other thing, to get that site the way it was, I had to have a lot of my interaction time with the AI to get it to do that. And there's a lot of stuff that I know from layered knowledge across 40 years that most of you don't have. So there was a lot of stuff where I knew the technical terms and what to ask for and how to ask for it and all that, that allowed me to be able to do that. And it still took me, you guys know how long I've been working on that. It's probably close to 2 months.
Yeah,
So it's not like some of these sites where there's some sites out there and you can go and you can just pop in your idea and it'll build you, a nice looking website. There's AI programs that will do that.
yeah.
Um, what is it? Somebody know the name of some of those sites?
Lovable.
Lovable. That's the one I was trying to think of. Yeah, Lovable is a perfect example of an AI website product. So you can do that. The other thing is when you're in a WordPress site and it is very user friendly. When you're using something like Beaver Builder or Elementor or some kind of a visual editor, it allows you to go in and do stuff on your own. Whereas, let's say you go to Lovable and you create a site, or you create a site like what I did, you're going to have to go back to the AI every time you want to edit it. And you're going to have a revision. You're going to have to go through a process, which that's the thing I'm sitting here on the edge of my seat right now going, shit, what have I done?
Okay.
I'm going to have to go in there and go through that process when if I had a visual editor, I could just go in and tweak it and it's done in like 10 seconds. And uh, there's no fear of having something overwritten or have a bunch of pieces break down the line. Because believe me, in building that site, I've had it to where it broke a lot of pieces down the line.
Sure.
And as much as you guys probably think that AI is perfect, it is not. It is a long way from being perfect, and it's a long way from knowing everything.
Yeah,
So it really is. It's a collaborative effort. When you're using AI to generate complex stuff, it is a collaborative effort. It's not just to push it off and it does its thing.
sure.
It's a process. So, so anyway, back to your initial question as far as training in Sorcerer Air, there's not really a lot of training required for that, but what there
Yeah,
is going to be required is case studies,
gotcha.
like helping people get the ideas of what they can do with it.
Sure,
That's going to be like the most beneficial, I think.
gotcha.
And like anybody that's using it, if you document or even shoot video of your steps, that would be really cool, really helpful.
Sure.
And
Okay.
we'll do some stuff. I'll put some open days together where anybody can get in and share what they've done with it, and just
Sure.
like a little mastermind group, we can kick ideas around and stuff.
Yeah, that would be good. So one last question, because I see a lot of hands up and I don't want to hog your time. But on on credits, now I've used AI tools, but I've never I don't have any experience with the credits. So like
Okay.
like
Well,
if I get 5,000 credits a month, I mean, what?
5,000 credits goes a long way with the exception of cinematic video.
Okay,
5,000 credits can get used up pretty quickly with cinematic video.
sure.
But like if you're just creating images and
Yeah,
using it for all that stuff, it should go a long way.
okay. All
So
right.
the
Got it.
other thing too about it, like we have connections to a lot of different programs in there. Like there's connections in there to Sora, there's connections to Suno, there's connections to all kinds of AI programs. So you don't have to go out and piecemeal a
Oh
bunch of
yeah. No,
stuff.
I wasn't expecting that, and that's a big bonus
Yeah.
to
But
me.
they don't, it's not full feature.
Okay.
Like for instance, if you wanted to create a song, if you went to Suno is the one for
Yeah,
songs, right?
yes,
So,
yeah,
so if you went to Suno and you create a Suno account, you're going to get more feature-rich components
sure,
with it.
yeah,
Whereas if you want to use it in Sorcerer, you're going to get, the backbone of it, but you don't get all like the little features that they add as their paid customers. You're getting
oh,
API
yeah,
access to the backbone.
gotcha,
So to me, that's where the value is really not in the bells and whistles.
sure, sure, I'm with you.
So that's kind of the rough overview of it. It's really, really cool. Uh, but the agentic, well, I'll come back to that. We'll get all our
Okay,
questions answered first.
all right,
Anything else,
sounds
Kevin?
good. Now that's it. I'll defer to everybody else. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Shima.
Okay, my question is, can we promote Saucer Air as an affiliate?
We don't have the affiliate for Sorcerer yet.
Okay,
We're still working stuff out on that. As far as Sorcerer 2, we're probably about maybe a week or two away from doing a white label on it. So if anybody wants to do a full white label where you brand it as your own and you sell it yourself as your own product, we'll have that. I'm gonna say within 2 weeks we should have that available. So and eventually we'll have the affiliate program up for that as well.
okay,
So working with these different programming teams, I'm actually working with another team now on Agentic, and they're in Portugal, and it's gonna absolutely blow your mind what this thing is doing. So Teresa, go ahead.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so your website, I know you have your own hosting service,
Uh-huh.
but for other people, say if we sold to someone else, that how do you host it? Do you have to talk to Tim Gillette?
No, hosting, any hosting will work.
Oh, okay.
Like my site now, if you want to do WordPress, most hosting companies offer WordPress hosting. The problem with most of the hosts out there, they run on cPanel servers. And
Okay.
cPanel servers were never optimized for WordPress. And one of the bigger problems, like if you go to cheap hosting, let's say you go to Bluehost, for instance, this is a perfect example. Bluehost is an internet marketing company. They were made to serve internet marketers. And when I say internet marketers, I really mean spammers. That's who they were made for.
Mm.
And the idea is you go to Bluehost and you get a $4 hosting account, and they give you cPanel where you can allocate multiple websites as add-on domains. And you could literally open up 100 websites under that account on that cPanel server, and each one of those websites could have an instance of WordPress in it. So you could literally host 100 people's WordPress sites on that $4 host. You could do that. And the purpose of that was for people that were doing spam that burn domains and burn websites like at the blink of an eye,
Mhm.
for them to have an unlimited disposable bucket of websites so they could spam them and cook them and just be done with them in a week and throw them away. That's not my business model.
I was going to say, I don't want to do that.
No, no, not at all. But I'm just giving you an example of,
Right.
that's where a lot of these people, when you go to some of the web developers, they'll put you on that kind of a hosting environment. And with a cPanel server, if you run more than about maybe 30 instances of WordPress, you're going to take it to its knees. Because
Mm.
WordPress is very intensive. It's a database program. It's very intensive to manage websites from a server side. And with a cPanel server, they optimize the server to not for WordPress, they optimize it for HTML. That's what cPanel originally was made for, and PHP. But the essence of it is you almost any web host you're going to have would host a site from Lovable or like the one that I built.
Okay. So we should definitely just come to you.
And me, or if you're with Tim, or anybody that you trust for hosting is fine.
Right.
John, can I address that? Because I know that was something brought up with you and me and Craig. The difference between John's hosting and my hosting. I am a website maintenance company. John has a hosting. We do maintenance. That's why we have our service. So there's not just, hey, we got it hosted for you. There's work we do for you. That's the difference between me and John. Whereas if you're going to do all that stuff and you just need a host, John's got a service for that.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
That's the right way we want to put that, right, John? I want to make sure, because a lot of people ask the difference between us. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the reason, like, whenever I build a website for somebody, I make sure that it's on Beaver Builder. And that way, when I hand it off, I show how to edit it so they can do their own edits. Like, if you don't want to do that and you want it just managed and all that, that's where Tim has a service of, webmaster hosting.
Mhm.
So you want something done, you never have to worry about it. You just send it off and it gets done. So that's
And I'm not, and I don't think John's I'm not criticizing either service. It's just there's two different styles of what you like
Different
or what
business
you
model.
need, and that's the difference between the two. All right, and John has a great service. I mean, he did work for me before I did my own company.
Absolutely.
yeah. Now I have normal cPanel service. Like, I get a lot of people that come to me that are business owners and they don't have WordPress sites. They have, big enterprise custom programs built, and I'll put them on a cPanel server because it's optimized for that. But if I get somebody that's on WordPress, I won't put a WordPress site on a cPanel server. I'll put it on an optimized WordPress server.
Okay.
And my 2 cents on this. All right, John has this is opinion. This is not fact. All right, I prefer SiteGround because SiteGround has been doing WordPress sites longer than anybody, but that's my opinion. All right, and they have a very good service. And if you have your own SiteGround management or your own SiteGround hosting, you can tag someone like me or John to come in if we needed to. That's the great thing I know about them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like using Kartra. You can assign a manager to your
Yes.
account, and then they can go in and get access to it for you.
Cool.
So,
Okay, so your new site is not a WordPress site.
correct. So what I
Okay.
did, I actually built it on the WordPress site
Okay.
because I had my site on WordPress. So my Internet Dominator site was on my or not my cPanel, but my optimized WordPress server. I built the new site in a folder in that same hosting account. Once I got it up and dialed in enough that I was ready to go live with it, I moved the live folder over to my cPanel server, and then I swapped the DNS to point over there for it, and basically abandoned the WordPress site.
Too
Yeah.
much information. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I asked. Okay, and then
I could have left it there. It would have been fine. It would have been just fine. I just,
okay.
So you still have all your files for the backup of the WordPress site.
yes. Yeah, I didn't kill the WordPress site. It's just sitting there dormant. It almost like it rolled the WordPress site back to a staging server. So I can still access it. In fact, that was helpful because I found a couple of pages I forgot to make, and I told the AI the address on the staging server, and I said, here's a page an orphan page we forgot. Go get the content and bring it across, reformat it. So that was very beneficial.
Okay. I have a question specifically regarding Claude because I've been using Claude and
Okay.
it seems like you can it's kind of agentic, isn't it?
It is. They have a thing called co-work.
Yeah.
So co-work is an agentic piece. The problem with Claude is great. I've played around with it. I know a lot of people that use it for the agentic piece. But the Claude, it breaks a lot. If you look, like, I've got I've got screenshots somewhere on my desktop where I'm working with these developers and they're developing the back ends of our agentic stuff. And they use Claude as one of the backbones, and they're really upset with it for how often it breaks
Hmm.
and it goes down. There's also one inside of Perplexity. I mean, this is going to be the norm. It's all moving this way. It's all moving toward agentic. It's just a matter of, you know, I don't know that anyone's going to figure it out first.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of places like Claude and, you know, and Perplexity and Anthropic and all these, they're all going to have a version of it, but they're going to have a generic version of it. It's kind of like the difference between ChatGPT and the Quantum Suite. The Quantum Suite is basically a bunch of tools that were made with GPTs, but for a specific application, specific use case. Like if I told you, yeah, you don't need quantum, just go into ChatGPT, you would pull your hair out trying to get those results, trying to do the prompts and all that.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm actively working on is how do I develop a suite of tools that gives you everything you need without having you to pull your hair out. So
Okay.
that's what Sorcerer has become that for the creative side. It's become that for all the
Okay.
image building and all the video and all the really, really technical specialized stuff without having 50 different AI accounts. So anything you want to create as far as creative art, we'll just call it art, imagery, visuals, graphics, even even voice, sound, and songs and all that stuff.
Right.
That is where Sorcerer is going to really shine.
Okay, that's really good to know.
Yeah,
For things like content
yeah.
and editing,
Mhm.
I'd still go to Quantum or I'd go to Perplexity or something like that.
Currently, yes. We
Okay.
are working on that to add that into Sorcerer, but as I'm working with this new company, and this is a good transition. Was there anything else, Teresa?
Just that where would I go if I wanted to rethink my business model? Like what you were talking about at the very beginning of
Uh-huh.
this session.
So try this. Try going into Sorcerer
Okay.
and go into the agent section in the library, under the library tab, I think it is. Let me take a quick
Yeah,
look.
I really want this for the library. Thank you very
Oh
much.
yeah, the library is very resource rich.
Fantastic. Okay,
And
I
it
can noodle around in that if you want to continue with the conversation.
yeah, and I just want to make sure I'm not steering you in the wrong direction.
Oh, please don't. I'm lost enough as it is.
Okay, so under the library, there's
Okay.
a GPT library and then there's a prompt library.
Mhm.
Go to the GPT library, and this is where all the pre-made agents are.
Okay.
So think of this as like the backbone of the agentic without the front end on it yet. So you could go in here and you could create your own agent and you could train the agent for like what he is and what he specializes in. Or you can go in here and you can search for the different agents that are already here. And I think there's 2,434 agents pre-built in here for you. You could probably find one that's a business specialist to have a conversation with and map out your strategy. And what you're going to want to do, they'll probably ask you questions and, kind of get to know you, but make sure that you tell it who you are, what you do, what all of your skill sets are, even if they're outside of what you
Oh,
think you do. Like anything you've ever done, anything you know, like maybe you know QuickBooks. Tell it that. I know you probably don't want to do QuickBooks, but
No.
it might find some relevancy in there for something else. So don't hold back. Tell it everything and let it figure out what's important. Because that's what you're leaning on it for. You're leaning on it for doing the work you don't know how to do. And the more information you give it, the bigger the war chest is that you're handing it to work.
Okay. Can I refer it to some of my resources?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm a member of a tax resolution group and a
Absolutely.
tax
You can,
reduction mitigation group and the M&A
uh-huh.
guys and all the rest.
Yeah, you can even point it to resources and have it read those to come up to speed on certain things.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Okay, I've got my work cut out for me.
but
Thank you.
but the more you give it, the better job it will do for you.
Hmm.
And I've learned that in creating the first campaign before I even redid the website. When I did the campaign for Sorcerer, my first line of operation with the agentic was first you have to give it a lot of background.
Yeah, get
So I
acquainted.
told it who I am as a person, and I went all the way back to childhood. Gave it everything, relevant or not. It didn't matter to me if it was relevant to me right now. I'm just going to give it everything. And then I gave it my current business, and then I gave it previous businesses, and then I gave it all my products. So it was trained on me as a person, my current business, my past businesses, and all my present products and services. And once it had all that, then I was ready to go to work. Then I was ready to say, okay, what we need now is a marketing campaign for a new product. Here it is. Here's what it's all about. I need help mapping this out. And that's where it mapped out that entire campaign, the smash and grab. And it went back into my history and found the diamond thief thing and pieced that together. I never in a million years would have come up with that. And it was really cool. It was absolutely
Beautiful.
brilliant. But it was because I gave it all that data to feed from. And it did a fantastic job of deciphering it all.
Hmm.
It saw
Thank
things
you.
I couldn't see. So don't ever think you're giving it too much.
Oh, that's a good idea, Pam. She said, ask it to interview me.
Yeah, if you don't have the information, ask it what is relevant, what's important.
And get real detailed though. So what is it you want to do? And please interview me and here's how I want you to do it. Here's all the things I need to know about, whatever. I just went through a process somebody else had a prompt for, and it was really fascinating. And the thing came up with some really wild stuff. I was like, oh yeah, okay, that sounds, yep, I can see that. It was very interesting. But you want to make really good answers too, really thorough.
Yeah, that's another thing. You don't have to answer it quickly. It'll sit there and wait all day. Don't
Hmm.
just like give it bogus answers just to get on to the next thing.
Doesn't mind being asked questions. A
And
lot of people around me are like, it's an attack. Okay.
another thing you can do if you're at a blank, let's say it asks you a question and you just don't have an answer for it, but you don't want to waste time, jot the question down and say, I'm gonna think about this and get back to you on this point. What's next? If you want to blow through it, do it that way, but then come back and give it what it was asking for.
Brilliant.
All right.
Okay.
Arba, go
Arba.
ahead.
Sorry.
Or were you done, Teresa?
I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your tolerance, everybody.
You're not over, hopefully you're not overdone.
Oh, wow. Not yet.
Sometimes I'll throw too much and I'll overdo you. All right, Arba, go ahead.
Okay, so So, I deal with a lot of unrealistic solopreneurs.
Oh, yeah, I know them very well.
And so I have someone who has a nonprofit agency, and he let some young lady talk him into saying that his website was out, the website I created, that his website was outdated and she can help him get donations. And so we did a little three-way, and she said, if I give you, if I show you what I think updating his website should look like, can you do it? And I said, sure, because you can show me anything and I can update his website, right? So here's why I'm asking this question from what you said earlier. So she doesn't even know doesn't even understand web design, nothing. So she has some other group create an AI website.
Okay.
I looked at it immediately and I was like, that was just churned out of AI. And so then we get into this discussion that she could not understand. She's like, now, can you just migrate that onto can you just migrate that onto, his existing website? And I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. You don't, and I don't use WordPress, okay? I don't use WordPress. And even if I did, which is what my question is really about, because you use WordPress, um, it sounds like you were saying that now what you realize is that if you create an AI website, it's not like the old FTP days where you can just, FTP up onto the server, blah, 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 and everything's cool.
Mhm.
So I was like at my wit's end with my customer who they're all thinking I'm playing hard. And I'm like, no, you cannot just migrate an AI website. I was like, I would have to literally recreate this look that was so generic, onto the new platform. So my question is, or my sanity check is, am I correct that if we go towards this age of AI websites, then is the only way to update it is to use that same AI? Are we even now really separating? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this
No,
is crazy.
I got it. I got the answer for you.
Thank you.
So, just from the beginning, the answer of can I migrate this AI website over onto the client site? The answer is yes. You can do that.
Okay.
When the AI, like let's say Lovable, that's like a big one out there. That's probably what they used. The Lovable is creating all the website files. So you literally can just FTP those right into your client's folder and it will take over the website. You can do that.
But now I'm not a WordPress. My sites are
That's
not WordPress.
no, that's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. So I don't I should I don't know how deep I should go down the rabbit hole with this, but in a web hosting scenario, you have a public HTML folder. That's your home directory. There's a file inside that that's not in a folder. It's in the public HTML folder that's called index.html typically. That's your homepage.
Mm-hmm.
That can be index.php. It can be index.asp. It could be index. A lot of different things for different formats for websites. But the index file typically is the home page of any folder. Now, you can have other folders that have an index file in them. You can have other pages inside that. In fact, you could have other pages inside your public HTML folder. And that would equate to your domain.com is going to pull index. Your domain.com / page name.html will pull that page and display it in the web browser. So all of those files can be FTP'd over into that HTML directory.
Mm.
even including if there was a WordPress site operating inside that folder and you overwrote that index.html, with WordPress it's index.php because WordPress operates in PHP. But if you were to upload your files in there, and even if the WordPress homepage was taking over instead of the HTML, all you have to do is go in and rename it, and
Mm.
it'll still be there, but it won't be active. And then it'll be referencing the new file you just put in that folder as the homepage. So you can use FTP, you can migrate those into any web hosting environment, no problem. As far as your question of how do we edit it, you can edit the raw HTML files just like you might know how to do, and then you can either do them live on the server or you can bring them down to your local drive and you can FTP them back and forth.
Yeah, see, I'll stop right there. That's crazy because because here's the thing is that like I said, I was designing websites since the 90s. I'm loving the 2000s, the 2020s, okay? Because I'm not doing the downloading, uploading, doing HTML, not when there are so many visual editors or drag and drop or whatever. And so that was really my thing of as we move more towards the future with these AI websites, I totally followed everything that you just explained. But now I'm saying we're losing the benefit. Um, of the quick, yes, you can quickly get an AI website up and running, but now it's the thing of now you're back in the Stone Age of trying to edit it.
So here's two ways. Think of this as an evolution. We're in a rocky spot in the evolution right now where we're like one step away from euphoria. Euphoria is coming. I can see it. I'm trying to build it because my next phase, after I get the site dialed in, probably be later today. I've got two more things I got to do, and then it will be complete and to my satisfaction. It will be what I would consider a world-class site. Once I get there, my next move is going back to the agentic and saying, okay, moving forward, I want to create a strategy for updates and easy edits to the site. And I do not want to have to go and upload files and overwrite shit and do all that crap or go in and edit HTML. I don't want that to be part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that it will do something similar to Beaver Builder, where it creates me a visual editing component on the front end where I can just flip to admin. And when I'm viewing the website, I can just physically change the stuff right there.
Right.
And
So you just explained that's what I currently do with the website platform that I'm on, meaning that I can create widgets, I can create templates, I can create pages, all of this stuff I can use because AI is built in to the website that I'm using. But all
yeah,
platforms are different. So you
yeah,
can't just take an AI built site
yeah,
and onto some other AI built site. It's that's what I'm saying. We've gone beyond raw HTML, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
So the thing that we're like one step away from is giving the AI hands. The AI right now doesn't have hands and fingers, but that's
yeah,
the next step. And we're already there. OpenClaw did it.
yeah,
OpenClaw gave AI hands and fingers. So the problem with that is the security and the danger of
right,
cutting that thing loose on your computer.
right,
So what this team that I'm working with in Portugal, what they've done is they have taken a similar approach to OpenClaw, but they run it on individual servers. So when you open up an agentic account under their software, they're actually setting you up with a private server online. It's like in the cloud, and they install this agentic platform inside of that server. So it's yours. It's completely isolated. It's HIPAA compliant because of that. So if you're doing anything that requires compliance, like tax preparation, anything medical, anything financial, it basically sets those standard guidelines of privacy and protection as far as an agentic AI.
Mhm.
The other thing about it is it has the hands. It can do things. Like I've been playing around with it for 2 days now, and it's just on every facet, it's blowing my mind of what it can do. First thing I asked it was, I have a lot of just like shit that in Kartra that I just can't stand doing. I'm good at it and it doesn't take me long, but it's just not something I want in my daily life. And it said, "Oh, I'm not familiar with Kartra. Let me go research it." It went and pulled up the documents, all of the docs for Kartra, and it said, "Oh yeah, Kartra has open AI, or not open AI, but it has an open AI connection that I could connect to, and I can do anything that you can do."
Mm.
And by the way, I just read all of their help docs and all their support docs, and I know everything about it now. What do you want to do? And I basically told it like what I normally do. And it's like, yeah, no problem. When you're ready. Oh, and this was really cool. It says when you get your API key, and it gave me the exact instructions of how to log into Kartra and get my API key for it. It said, I want you to get this. And then when you have it, tell me, don't paste it in the chat. That's not secure.
Hmm.
It said, I will set up a secure server for you to upload it to, and then I can retrieve it from there. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Actually, that makes sense. And so now you have answered my question two ways, present and future, that the platform that I used actually kind of alluded to that and already said that I have access to API, and then MCP, I think was something else they said. And so therefore, if I wanted to, which I don't want to, I could have connected or let these two APIs, or whatever, however the connection, and I could have said, okay, here's the gateway, you do it, you migrate.
Yeah, yeah,
I could have, yeah. And so as long
absolutely.
as whatever platform that I'm on has that capability, then I can
Yeah,
migrate any other AI website. And I think that's where the future
yes,
is.
absolutely. So
Okay.
with this one, like I could give it my root access login for my cPanel control panel, and it could go in there and it could partition sites, it could set up new accounts, it could create hosting accounts for new customers.
Hmm.
And I also said, with your API access, that means I could create you as a user in my Kartra account, and you could go in and answer my support tickets. And it said, oh, yeah, piece of cake.
Yeah.
So and then I started asking it more questions. I said, could I create a Telegram account? Or could you rather create your own Telegram account, connect to me, and then I could send you messages there to tell you what I need done remotely? It said, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I made the right
I'm like,
decision because now it makes sense to me that when we started this project, see, I have the ability for any, because I'm like at an agency level, and I have the ability to give any client access to make changes to their website, but that's using the platform interface, right? The
yeah,
dummy proof, interface. So when she had this other group do the but this is why I knew they didn't know what the hell they was asking. When this other group did the AI website, they asked for access to the client's website. And I said, I already gave access. but they realized the access that I gave was at the website level, whatever, right? So then they started saying, we see that the domain is with Enom. Enom is they
Sure.
said we need access to Enom. And I was like, but the website's not on Enom. It's not the Enom is just hosting the domain.
Yeah.
And so they kept saying they needed but I've got like 3 domains for this customer. But anyway, I was like, do you understand? Even if I gave you access to the domain, that you can't do anything with that, you know? And
Well,
so
the reason they wanted Enom was they want to switch the name servers to direct the hosting account to them.
No, because this is where I took them on their bluff, right? I said, if all you want to do is change the DNS, give me the DNS records, I'll do it, right? So they gave me the DNS records. I pointed them, put it in there, all that stuff, and then it went to error, whatever. I could tell it was connected to whatever it needed connected to, but it couldn't do anything. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
belabor this because you've really answered my question. It got down to this customer, he's been a customer of mine since like 2003.
Yeah.
He was like, Arba, do not give them access to anything, blah, 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 because he realized, which I tried to tell him from the beginning, and I was kind of trying to read the chat. And I told him, just by prettying up your website is not gonna get you donations. I've tried to tell you that for years. You need an actual marketing strategy. And after he went through all of that, he just felt bad about it. And
Well,
I was
I
like,
don't like the idea of hosting your website on like Lovable. Like these
yeah.
AI build platforms, I would
Well,
prefer
this
that
one
just
definitely wasn't lovable. It was something that's why
okay.
it was even more sketchy. Because
Yeah.
when I went to the preview site and then I looked it up, it wasn't lovable. It was clearly another AI development
Yeah.
server.
Yeah,
So
because like one of the reasons I wouldn't ever do that is I don't have access to the server level. Like when I have clients and a client is depending on me for their website, I have a thing I refer to as brute force. I can log into the actual server and I know how to command the server to get done what I want to do, like right now.
mhm.
And if it's on some other hosting server, I don't know what kind of server it's on. I don't have access. There's just too many things I don't have control over. So I won't work on somebody's site unless they're on one of my servers
Right.
because I want brute force access.
Yeah.
If something goes sideways, I want to be able to fix it with brute force. I don't want to have to pussyfoot around and go through a bunch of crap.
Right.
And I wouldn't have that if it was on a Lovable server.
Right.
People that build Lovable, I'm like, yeah, export the files and we'll put them on a real server and we'll go from there.
All right, but thank you. That helped me to understand if I come up with this situation again in the future that legitimately maybe like for a customer that has no existing website and then but they want me to support them and show me an AI website. Now I
Yeah.
can
Well,
see how I can have them talk.
I just actually put together and uh, put out a brand new cPanel server for a client. And in the brand new cPanel server, when I was partitioning it and setting it up for them, I noticed there's like some new stuff in there in back in the admin section. And one of the things that was in there was a new AI web development tool.
Hmm.
So cPanel is building web development with AI right into their software.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we are just like inches away from this being a whole new world.
Right.
And the idea of giving the AI hands, I don't know if you know how significant that is.
Mhm.
But with that, you would never have to touch FTP. You would never have to do anything. The server can actually, or the AI can actually have access to the server to push the new files up, clean up your structure. everything.
Yeah.
Anything I would be able to do with brute force, that AI now has the ability to do that as well. So, I mean, it's a fantastic thing that we're on the edge of. And here's the other thing. I when I set up my server, my AI server in Portugal, I'll just tell you about the process. It was the coolest thing ever. So we spin up the new server and I log into it for the first time, and it's actually walking me through an onboarding process. And the first thing it came up with was, I need to know who I am. What do you want to call me? And I said, oh, you're Becky. There is no doubt in my mind. You are my new Becky. And it said, cool, tell me about myself. And I'm like, really? Okay. Well, here, you are my AI assistant. You're going to know soon everything I know. So you can be my client liaison and you can just handle everything for me and I won't be necessary anymore. And it said, oh, cool, understood. I'm ready when you are. And it gave me a list of things to train it. Like, I need databases, I need knowledge bases, I need this, I need that. I'm like, cool, I will get that stuff for you. And then it said, okay, tell me about you. How would you like me to refer to you? And I'm like, oh, this could be kind of cool, but for now, let's just call me John. And then it started asking me about me and my background and all this stuff. And I'm like, holy shit. And then after the setup process, this went on for, a little while. After the setup process, I went back into the admin and I saw what it did with all that information. And you know how we have the Becky bot, the Build a Becky bot software, and you go in and you train it on its personality and you give it knowledge bases and all that stuff. That's what it was doing. It was creating all that stuff in the background. And then I said, I don't really like your icon, because when she showed up as Becky, it was some, weird cartoon icon. I said, that's not what you look like. I want you to look like the real you. And I uploaded a couple of photos of my Becky, and it said, oh, I get it. I understand who I am now. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna smile. There you go.
There
And
he is.
You were frozen for a minute, John.
oh, so I uploaded a couple of pictures showing who Becky is, and she says, oh, okay, cool. I know who I am now. So she updated all of her icon images in the program. So now when she's chatting with me, I see her face.
Oh, she didn't get jealous?
Oh
That's
no.
so there, oh, we're not there yet with AI?
Oh no. And then I was talking to the programmers in Portugal in the middle of the night, because that's their middle of the night. And I was telling them about, my process and all that stuff. And I said it would be really cool if I could have her on my site, as a widget to pop up. And they're like, oh, just tell her you want that. She'll write the widget code for you. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, well, could she actually? Oh, and here's another thing. I don't have to type anymore. I can literally just talk to her. So I just talk to my computer and she doesn't talk back yet. And that was what I was asking them. When's she going to talk to me? And they said, we're about 2 weeks away from that. They said within 2 weeks, you will be able to talk to her and she will be able to respond in voice, and she'll have a phone number. You can call her. So if you're in the car and you forgot something and you need to do something, you could literally just call her and say, hey, I forgot to send an email, and could you send this email out for me? Absolutely. And I'm like, holy shit, we are so close to a euphoric world right now. I can't hardly stand it. It is
That's
incredible.
amazing. Wow.
Oh man. I told the guys in Portugal, I go, I've been dreaming about this exact program for a long time. And now here it is. So another thing, I was brainstorming with her and I said, I have a lot of people that need leads. And I said, the biggest problem is they don't know how to communicate with cold leads. So what would you do? How would you solve that problem? And she said, well, the first thing is, and I haven't even taught her about the ACT program yet. She said, the first thing is you have to segment down and find out exactly who you're talking to. And I'm like, right on. And she said, the next thing, once we identify who the ideal prospect is, I would merely go over to the Apollo database, which that Apollo database is where Acquisition Air gets its sources. She said, I would go over to the Apollo database and I would find a list of however many prospects you want. And then the next thing, I would follow them on social media and I would basically see what they're interested in. And then I would craft a personalized email to each one based on something they've posted in their social media within the last 24 hours and reach out to them. And I'm like, what? And she said, if they don't respond, I would follow them further and do it again for up to 3 times. After 3, they're not going to answer you. And we'll just put those in a dead pile. And I'm like, what would you need to do this? And she said, your command. I'm like, what? I mean, do you have any idea how much work that would be for me to create that system in Kartra with automations and sequences and A/B switches and all that stuff? I would never even get there. I'd never even get to that level.
Yeah.
And,
I've actually seen a demo already of something similar to that.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's going to be baked into our new deal. So Becky is truly coming to life. Janie, go ahead.
Diane had a question about accessing Sorcerer Air, and I told
Oh,
her to go to Internet Dominators, go to the menu, go to products, and select it. But I wanted to
okay.
make sure that I was correct in the sequence.
You're correct in the way you would get access, but currently that button that you sent her to is to get on the waiting list for the official launch. So we have got it live. If any of you guys are interested in it, if you just go to sorcererair.com directly, you can go there and it is up, it's live. You could sign up for it. And, I'm letting you
Oh,
guys in.
thank you. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
great.
letting you guys in if you want in, but it's not publicly available yet.
Thank you, John.
And currently, I will tell you, there is a special offer in there for lifetime access. And as soon as we open it to the public, that will be revoked. So that is available just to you guys if you want it. And like I said, once we roll it out and make it public, we're going to remove the lifetime access to it. That'll be the only time I've really ever offered lifetime access to anything. And we will have a white label version of it. The white label version of it is not going to be cheap. That is a very, very labor intensive program for us to run on the back end. So just know that. And then I'm probably not going to be ready for it next week, but the week after, I'm going to bring David on, the one that's doing the new agentic stuff, and I'm going to let him give you guys a walkthrough and early access for any of you that want to get in on that thing. And that is, and I'll tell you, like I always say, I'm not encouraging you to buy anything you're not ready for. But if you are ready and you're in a position and you're like chomping at the bit for that, we'll make that available to you. In fact, even I offered it to Brad. Brad, I showed him yesterday in a one of our apprentice calls, and he was just foaming at the mouth. He's like, I gotta have this. So I talked to the programmers last night and they said, yeah, they'll hook them up. So if any of you are like urgently wanting it, let me know and I'll put you in the front of the line. But outside of that, probably like 2 weeks from now, we'll do a demo on it. You guys can see it in action, and if you're ready to go, it'll be available. So cool stuff.
Hey, John,
Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
uh, quick question. Um, I feel like I'm falling behind because I'm multitasking. But my question is, I just looked at your website. Of course, it looks great while we were talking or while I was listening. But at the same time, I noticed all the products are listed very plainly on the left side. Um, can I send you an email and get an explanation for each one, and you tell me what I have? So, and just a short answer because I'm really confused on what I need and what I'm not ready for, and that
Okay.
sort of stuff. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's no problem.
All right. And then we're still going to get on your calendar for my wife.
Okay.
It's just slow to come. Thanks.
Sounds
Thanks a
good.
lot.
And my
Thanks a lot.
God, don't feel like you're slipping behind at this point. I feel that way myself. This is all moving so fast.
Yeah. Awesome.
So
Okay.
it is just like every week I'm in a different spot every week, and it's like this is just unreal.
I know it's crazy. Okay.
John, here's my take on it. We're on the platform trying to get on the train, but the train's going by us at 200 miles an hour, and we don't have enough hooks to grab it.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Oh man, yeah, this is really like this is crazy times that we're living in. And I think it's just absolutely awesome. Absolutely incredible. All right. Anybody else? Anybody got anything else you want me to cover?
You probably forgot. There was something that you were going to segue into, and then I asked a question, and now you probably forgot what you were going to
Oh,
You
segue
were
into.
no.
listing the products.
Yeah. No, we actually covered that. That was the new agentic AI that
Oh,
I said I would get back to. And the fact that we're probably in 2 weeks, we'll give you guys a demo.
okay.
And by then, I'm sure I will have it doing all kinds of wild stuff. I don't know, Janie, even though I've given it hands now, I don't know that it's going to be able to give me a massage yet. So
Oh, well, you know who to call.
you're still in business there.
Yes, sir.
You're not on any threat level just yet, but
No, nothing beats basic touch.
oh, that's awesome. All right, guys, anything else before we wrap up? Well, cool. You know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to go play with Becky.
Now,
Thank
you
you,
know that
John.
did not sound right.
Oh, I
That's
know
right.
that.
Be nice.
That was the whole point.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you and I had to talk about my Nikki. My Nikki needs to be educated and brought up to date.
We're gonna we're
Remember, safety first.
yeah, first we're giving her hands. Next week we're gonna give her a mouth, and who knows what we're gonna give her next.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. They got to put guardrails on this AI.
I think it's probably more me that needs the
Yeah, I was
guardrails.
gonna say.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. One of them. So it's probably easier to control the AI than
But me,
John's
yeah.
imagination.
Well, I've always been a big proponent of where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Wow.
Amen. Many ways, huh, John?
That's right.
All righty.
All right,
Thank you.
guys. Well, have a great week and have fun with AI. It is just awesome. It's good stuff.
Thank thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All
Bye-bye.
ashore, going ashore. Happy weekend.
Yep.